Hello friends, but more importantly, hello enemies. Enemies are especially important on this day because it's Halloween. I mean, not really. Actually, I typically post these on Saturdays, so we're past Halloween, but I'm filming this before Halloween. Anyway, the spirit of the season is still the same. I celebrate Halloween several weeks before and after the actual date. So I've had this sitting around for an embarrassingly long time. An American Werewolf in London Ultimate Kessler Wolf from NECA. And it's a big box. Full disclosure, I've never seen American Werewolf in London, and I'm not going to pretend to know anything about it. I just enjoy werewolves. In the vampire versus werewolf debate, I'm always on Team Werewolf. Anyway, large box, very heavy, got some cool artwork on the front. On the back, there's some product shots, a little blurb about the movie, David and Jack, blah blah blah, backpacking through Britain, attacked by a large wolf. I thought his name was Billy. It's David. Maybe I'll still call him Billy. So there's a Velcro tab here. You swing it open. And the wolf is inside. Hard to see thanks to the glare, but we'll get him out in a moment. You can see why the packaging had to be so big, because this is a big figure. I will say he looks rather brown, whereas all the promo shots, he looks black. That is a brown wolf, sir. Let's go in from the top this time. Let's mix it up a little bit. Sorry for the extreme close-up. This is a large box. And those who have been watching long enough know that my review space is pretty small and my arms are very short. So I do what I can. I do what I can to make this a pleasant unboxing for you. We're just working within my physical limitations, which are many. So not only do you get this clamshell with the beast inside, there's also this this cardboard backing, so it's kind of like a diorama shot. So that's just a cool something extra if you want to keep that. I will not. I'm not really into dioramas, but it's there if you want to use it. Let's get this monster out. Oh, look at what they did to him. That looks painful. They just strapped him by the back of his throat to this clamshell. You let them treat you that way, baby girl. Alright, my cat is out there running around causing a ruckus. I'm sure any minute she'll come up to the door and be like, meow, meow. So the first thing I did was give him a dunk in some hot water because his joints felt really stiff, and that is not surprising. It's an older toy and he hasn't been out of the packaging since he was made, and I didn't want to risk any breakage. It is a hefty piece of plastic. It's pretty large and it's very heavy. I'm going to go ahead and do a size comparison really quickly just so you guys can see how large he is. So this is the new Marvel Legends Deadpool from Deadpool and Wolverine. As you can see, Deadpool is taller with the wolf on all fours, but there's so much more mass here than Deadpool. I like my werewolves with tails. The fact that this doesn't have a tail bothers me a little bit, but that is not the fault of the toy. That's just the design in the movie. And I also can't fault it for that because people don't have tails, so it makes sense that a werewolf wouldn't. But I like my animal people and my monster animal people to have tails. Why not? Actually, maybe I'm basic for saying this, but my favorite werewolf design ever is the werewolf from Skyrim. It's just the perfect amount of man and beast. And running around as a werewolf is never not fun, even though it gets really laggy in the later levels. But we're not here to talk about Skyrim. So I haven't seen the movie, I don't know what the sculpt looks like in the movie, but this sculpt looks amazing. It looks great. The fur texture is incredible. I especially love this raggedy fur that's hanging down on the chest and the neck. Let's look at this face sculpt. It is terrifying, honestly. Gums and the teeth are insane. Heavy amount of gloss applied there to give it a very wet look. Same for the eyes, they're also very wet. And so there's a lot of brown dry brush on this figure, but there's also some gray and black up at the head too. I still don't know why the promo pictures look so black. He looks kind of black on my viewfinder as well, but in person he is very much a brown wolf. Tiny little wolf ears. Claws are vicious looking. Lanky limbs. This is a a really cool figure and a really cool design just to have. So before I get into articulation, I'm going to show the other head first. So in lieu of having an articulated jaw for the main head sculpture, it comes with a different head portrait with the jaw very much open and very, very bloody. More of that gloss. The pupils on this one are a little cattywampus. He's looking in two different directions at once, but who's to say that can't be a werewolf's power? You gotta keep an eye out for threats. Or two eyes, as it were. But yeah, this is a vicious looking mouth sculpt. Got all the ridges, nice wet tongue. It's got kind of like eyebrows too. That's cool. I have a feeling this will be my main head sculpt that I want to have on him at all times, but we'll see. This also needs to soak a little bit before I put him on the body. So let's go ahead and take a look at articulation. I'm not sure what all there is. We're going on a learning adventure together. So there's this big joint here at the neck, and then a plastic overlay of fur, and then the head, which is itself on a ball joint. So you get a little head up and down with that, and then plenty of twist on the head. And those two working in conjunction, you do get some left and right. It's a bit of a subtle movement, but it works. Looking down, looking up, not bad at all. Earlier I did try to make him stand up like a human, but it doesn't really work. I mean, first of all, he's sculpted in this position, so the fur is hanging down, it doesn't look right, and then he can't really look forward like a human. You got a large joint there. Of course, we've got articulation on the elbow of the creature. On this wrist slash wolf ankle joint here, you get some swivel. You also get some up and down. As you can probably tell, he's fairly difficult to manipulate with just one hand, just because of how heavy he is. So at the toe joints, we get a nice up and down. And you can hear how stiff and clicky those joints are, so he definitely needed to be heated up. I don't think any of this movement would have been possible if he hadn't been doused in hot water. You also get a very robust waist, well, I guess it's not waist, it's like mid-body joint here, terminating right below the ribs. I don't know how much sense that makes anatomically, but it's sculpted really well. The cut isn't too bad, and I do appreciate the extra movement you get from that. I also like this ridge of the spine. Man, this thing's really, really well sculpted. The fur is beautiful, which is a weird thing to say about a man-eating beast, but I said it. For this back leg, you get leg out, and you also get leg out for the front leg, which I didn't touch on earlier. But man, it is difficult. He might need another bath. Werewolf's greatest enemy. This joint is very stuck. Ooh, it's not wanting to budge. Not wanting to budge at all. It might need some long-term heat treatment because it's just completely stuck in place, and I don't want to try and force it. I'm sure, like 99% sure, it'll just snap if I do. But we still have this leg to look at. Ah, there we go. This one does move. It doesn't want to, but it moves. So you also get a twist on that, and a similar kind of joint here. Again, this is more of a rock than a twist. It rocks back and forth. Then another up and down joint on the toe. If you have a stand or something, I can see putting him in a really cool attacking or running pose. There's an issue with density here, and that is that his limbs are so gangly. This lower half of his body is light comparatively, and then this part is super heavy, so there's a weight disparity that you need to watch out for if you're trying to pose him in any particular way. So as you can see, I attached the mouth open, bloody mouth head, and I dunked it in hot water for a while, so it wasn't a problem, but the ball joint for the head is very, very small. Like, I was surprised at how small it is. So it'd probably be pretty easy to just snap that if you position the head wrong or if you're trying to shove the head onto the peg. So just be careful with that. You can have him pretty down low and crouched in a threatening manner, or you can have him raised up a little bit more on his legs. I don't want to say in a neutral position because there's nothing neutral about this creature, but yeah, he can be a little bit taller using those gangly legs to their full advantage. Yeah, I just think a little tail would round out the whole design. I need you to sound out in the comments who's tail gang and who's no tail gang. I mean, far be it from me to criticize a classic monster design. Nothing but respect for Rick Baker and fellow professionals. So let's look at size comparison. I gave you guys a taste earlier. Here he is with Mezco Doc Nocturnal, which is a perfect matchup because this guy hunts monsters and this is, I would say, pretty solidly a monster. This guy just has a lot of weight compared to a standard figure. So even if he's shorter at the haunches, he's pretty threatening. Cassian Andor? Cassian could defeat a werewolf, I think. I give him about a 60% shot at it. And of course, the classic matchup, Pit Droid versus Werewolf. Who reigns supreme? So that's about it for me today. Just wanted to take a quick look at this figure that we've had sitting around for way too long. Perfect thing to open on or around Halloween. Maybe one day I'll even see the movie. As always, likes and subscribes are very much appreciated. Comments are more than welcome. And I will see you guys on the next one.